Wait, why is there no... What the hell? Why is there no drones? Is there Wait, what? I think my chart is glitched. Oh no, it's not. Jeez. Yeah. Okay. So with the next thing that I've came up with, refinement-wise, is... So if we just go to a couple of examples, like... And also, it looks pretty, but just don't get excited yet, because it really does need some more work done to it. But... And it's also kind of experience-based too, so it's only the guys with experience who would be able to probably implement this correctly. But, like, basically... If you've got a appropriate range to play, so like this, right? Like, you have got a decent range to, like, have the market flow into, and I need to turn my EMAs on. So see, for our appropriate range, right? So we need to turn the EMAs on. We don't need the bull trading indicator. I do like to see it, but after the fact, it's useless. But, like, yeah, because, like, it's gonna, like real time, this bar might actually be neutral, and I've got my bullish bars black anyway, but, like, you get the gist. Here you've got a sufficient range to play. Sometimes you're going to get an entry like right up here. You don't have a sufficient range to play. Like, so this would be this isn't even clean, right? But, like, you need to have some, like, a sufficient range. So here we've got sufficient range, right? So it is, and it's relative to the scenario at hand. And then also notice how I'm placing my stop loss. So you enter here. There's the low at hand. I'm putting it a bit below. There's your lower hand, which is your actual entry bar. I'm putting it a bit below here again. And what you notice, like, you can easily get a 1 to 4. And I've noticed that is the sweet spot, to be honest, as of now. That could change, it could increase, it could decrease. But, like, every single trade you would have got a 1 to 5 here. 1 to 6 was achievable, 1 to 8 even. But, like, I'm being realistic here. A 1 to 4, like, you're not complaining at that, considering I risk 2% currently to make 3. I'll be risking 1 or even more to make 4 or more, right? So you could even risk 1.5% and then make, like, what, an extra, like, 6% with a 1 to 4, so I think that was the only trades there was. Don't think there was any more. No. So then if we go, what I've also done, like, is all the way down to CL oil. I've got the whole of 25 marked up, 2025, with reviewed data, like real time too. So without the bull trend indicator, basically. For the 6B, I've got significantly more. I think it's from 2023 onwards up to the current date. For the YM, I think it's almost the same. And yeah, so it would just go on here, and we'll just go up to the 6. We'll just do ESYM and then the 6S, right? And then possibly the Euro. So I think for ES, I've just got let's get that nice sun on again. Oh, I'm also at work today on my part-time job. It would be nice to have one extra day, to be honest, but it will also be nice to have a bit of a break, to be honest. And relative to a standard strategy, we actually made an error first trade of this month, so it's not really that good for that wise. But yeah, so we'll start here. There should be a line somewhere here. Yeah. So that's where I have done up to. Well, stop, like, worked right. So you can instantly see here that there's sufficient playable range with this, and it's like, it's relative to the scenario at hand. So it's like, like if you look at what ranges have kind of been going on here at hand, like the playable range at hand is like something I've been working with for ages, and it's like this is how I actually operate. So it's like, if you've got with my standard thing. So if you've got a sufficient playable range on the 1 hour or the 15 minute, you can take the trade. With the context of like being able to achieve, and actually this stop losses plays wrong. So I haven't actually updated my stop losses on ES, I don't think. See, it's a 1 or 2. But as you can also see, that with this new thing, so you can be marking it there and you'd be putting it a bit below, and you easily get a 1 to 4. So it's like at hand, if you've got like a sufficient playable range, and sometimes that can be like this, you know, but like it's also relative to but in this case it's relative to what previous ranges have been going on, right? So I would probably miss out on this if there was a setup there, but we only give a shit about the cases where like you've got an actual setup, because when you actually get a setup with this 4 hour thing, 4 hour valid clarified AMD V2 criteria. Yes, it's a bit of a stupid name, but anyway, it helps me remember what I'm referring to. It is seriously good. When you get this, the market is in good conditions, basically, with regard to there being a strong one-sided like level of interest and intent and initiative to predominantly interact with the X and line product on one side of the market over the other, basically. Which like the EMAs identify, like with them being stacked. So I do have all trades marked, so like we don't need to cycle through anything. And like any of the charts, we can just scroll straight to the position tools, because I have updated like this. Also, you see here is updated, and yes, I was looking at a 1 to 5, but like I think that changed when I looked at YM. It made sense to use a 1 to 4, and that's universal too. So maybe yes, it makes sense to go for more. But like yeah, why my hair's like can't get it on my face. Right. So and also here you've got playable range, right? So that's So the new thing, so the 4 hour AMD is playable range and 1 to 4. So here we took profits. Here, like, and as well, I have to admit I'd be shitting myself a little bit after like this bar, because yeah, it is likely to go more, but like that would be a bit torture. But anyway, yeah, I'm fine. I would be fine with that if I was settled on 1 to 5s. But like, yeah. So this actually needs to have a bit of a distance below. Probably about that. I mean, even 1 to 4, and you see, so you'd still be waiting for a 1 to 4 anyway, which you probably would have been tagged there, but like, I'd be executing on CFDs. And you've also got playable range. So if you look at this, and then you come down, you're fine playable range wise. So if I just mark them up, may as well. And also, if I wasn't at my part-time job today, I'd probably be tempted to just sit and do research the whole day, which is good, but it's so important to get a workout in. Like for me, like I start to, my mind starts to walk places, let's just say, when I don't. So here, yeah, you got playable range, therefore. That's really nice, in fact. That's it. This is insane. Jeez. And you'd be executing on fucking CFDs, yeah. So, like, that would be sick. Like, that would be a nice, like, that's like, so you would go from Wednesday, there's a week. Okay, so you'd be going almost 2 weeks without a trade there. And then here you go even more. But like, I mean, you're going for like 4% and plus. You could even risk more. But like, I want to show you an example where like you don't have playable range with this criteria. It doesn't make sense to take, right? So like here's a good example. So there was a setup here where look at your playable range. It's like here, you're way above. So like I'm just gonna mark that. You know, like look, that's your playable range. You got like nothing, right? So obviously there's no valid setup here, but like you get the gist. If there was, is what I'm talking about. So yeah, look at this, right? This is your playable, so it's like most recently to the point in time that you get a setup, where's your playable range? You know, like technically you do kind of have this though, and after the fact you would probably have that marked up, because if the market did push from here, there should have been a line drawn there. You know, you would then, you could make the argument, to be fair, that would be valid actually. Yeah, that would be valid. So that's a bit of a shame, but yeah, anyway, you can't really complain with a 1 to 4 road or more. But yeah, this would be fine, to be honest. It's not the prettiest, I have to say, but anyway, there's the trade, and that's your first loss this year. So, but like honestly, I wouldn't. Who gives a shit? If you've got even a 50% strike rate with a 1 to 4, you're making money, right? So, and this is super high probable criteria. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Sometimes you actually don't have the valid playable range though. So, and I think there's been a couple on my I know there's been on fucking pound. I don't really like that instrument. So it's a bit iffy actually, because even here you got playable range, right? And because I mean, well, actually here you got playable range too. So yeah, and that's a 1 to 4. Oh yeah, because yeah. Jeez, that's quite tight. But anyway, you get a nice win. Gonna get some lunch after this. So yeah, so this is covering, so obviously we've got the TTFM in general, 4-hour TTFM's been covered, the TTFM's ex-AMAS thing. Yes, I know that's a bit of a dodgy word, AMAS and Hamas, but that's his name, AMAS. Bit of a whatever anyway, I'm digging myself a hole here. So, yeah, but with the 4, because I obviously had 4 things to cover, which is, I've already covered the TTFM in general thing. We've covered the 4-hour TTFM thing before, but actually I don't think I uploaded it, but anyway, we covered it in the past couple of videos. And then we've got the TTFM X AMAS. Don't mistake us from saying Hamas. I'm saying AMAS. That's his name, like I said. Fucking hell, I don't like saying that. Anyway, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to change the name of that, to be honest. Yeah, it's a bit of an unlucky name, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah. Yeah, so it was 4-hour, the RR refinement, and then also the mitigate losses thing, which I don't really think is going to work. I don't know though, because you could kind of be a bit more like strict with like what constitutes as a valid trade. So like here, you know, like your clean range would be this, you know, it's like, and then you get this. You're right at the highs, you don't have playable range clean wise, but then technically you do. So clean wise you don't, but technically you do. And also you would have also took a loss here on ES, which is interesting. But yeah, maybe we can do a couple more. But I do have trades, I think. Position tools will just be marked, so we're gonna just really fly through it. I don't, what the hell, I swear there was trades. Yeah, see, so I definitely, so damn, July was, actually, yeah, I remember this. So look, this is clean playable range, right, relative to like the past ranges, you know, like it's a clean playable range. This is A star, this is beautiful. Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. That's what you want to see. So, like, but then sometimes as well, therefore, like, you know, well, if you've got like if you're getting small ranges like this, and then the pass range is also kind of like that, well, then that's okay. But like in the pass case where it's like, you know, you have a shoot up, and then you get like a really small playable range, it's like, and it's not proportionately valid, then you don't really want to take it. So like here you got playable range, that's valid. Here you do have these ranges, this is technically valid, to be honest. So here, this is your clean playable range, valid. Just keep going. I know we went over this already, but like we'll go over ES again too, and Nasdaq of like analyzing like the clean, like that's what I had been coming up with, because like I kind of realized like shit, you know, you're gonna always kind of have a playable range, like that's a playable range, you know. But it needs to be clean. So like, for example, if you had a setup here, like look at your past playable range, this is it, and you're getting it right above, you don't have playable range. Like it would need to form like something like this, right? Where it's like you got a decent range to play, but you don't get a setup there. So like, I swear, like, this would get rid of some shiteness, and it's not even looking to boost the win rate or anything. It's just looking to avoid stupid trades like this is a stupid trade, literally. I'm not just saying that, like honestly, if this went to a win, I'd be like saying the same thing, you know. Like look at the playable range first of all, and then look at this playable range. It's proportionately not valid, so this isn't actually valid relative to that rule. So if we go now to ES again and Nasdaq, and then we'll go to the 6S because I've done that, and then we'll do euro, and then I think we'll also go a pound. So look at this: proportionate, valid, not valid, right? So we'll just keep scrolling back. We'll just do 25. I think that's all I've got anyway, actually, on ES. Nothing. Right. So look at this playable range at hand, and then look at this. Is it proportionately the same? Like the size of the amount of price coverage per bar comprised within this range, is it like relatively the same as this? Yes, that's fine, right? And also like just look at the amount of bars. Like you kind of got like 1, 2, 3. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like the same basically. It is a little bit smaller, but it's fine. It's not like proportionately different. Now look at this. This is a little bit different, right? So technically your playable range would be this, like from this high to this low, and then you come up and then you come down, like that would be fine. It just looks clean, you know. And then you've also kind of got this like whole range, but then you kind of go above and then down, but this would be okay, right? Now this, look at this would be your playable range. Now that you got this, that's fine. I'll try and find like an example even where there's not a trade where it's like doesn't make sense. So like here you got playable range. So like here, if you got a setup here, this is not a playable range. It's not proportionately valid. It's just simply not. Kind of quantity wise and price coverage wise. Like it is a playable range, but it's not clean. So it needs to be clean, which is relative to the proportion of like that range. So this should be a setup again, and then we'll just go straight to quite difficult to actually see. Maybe we just make sure I haven't missed anything here. Don't think I have. Nah, whatever. Even if I have, okay. So here, look at this. So look at the size of this playable range to this. It's basically the same, you know, like price coverage wise, not so much kind of quantity wise, but like it's fine, you know. So anyway, if we go now to the NASDAQ. Just goes to 25. Right. So there's no trades. So say it's quite a low frequency system, but like it definitely is still valid to definitely look at. You know, if it like, I mean, it just is, to be honest. But like, you would definitely want to have a couple of pairs. So anyway, look at this. This is actually really good. So you've kind of got this range, and then you come up, and then you kind of see that this is your, like, this would be your playable range, to be honest. And then you could like just look at these ranges. They're kind of the same, right? So that's fine. This is a fine playable range. Here. So here. This would be your playable range. You come up. This might not actually be valid. Yeah. And this is quite clean. But like you could kind of like, so your past playable range actually would be this. And then you come up. So kind of quantity wise, it actually is okay. So yeah, no, it actually would be alright. And like that actually would be your past playable range. Obviously you got like this, but your past like onside playable range, so your past bullish range would be that. Obviously, like, you know what I mean, like bullish range to play if should there be bullish circumstances. Now anyway, look at this. You got this kind of quantity wise, it's valid, right? So you got like 1, 2, 3, including this bar. You kind of, yeah, and then you got 1, 2, 3, like that's the same thing. Price coverage wise, it's not really that valid, but like, and also you're kind of inside this playable range anyway. So you kind of got like 2 confirmations of like, you know, like this is like but this is more so your playable range at hand. But like it is valid counter quantity wise, and just the way it looks. So it's not like, for example, forming like right above, for example, when there's been like a playable range like this, and then you're forming it right here. Like if this, like this is a prime example. If there was a setup here, this would be really unclean, because like overall this is like one leg. Of course you kind of got this, but it's just like, it's just not clean, like relative to the past playable range. You're right above the high in the extreme region. Like I said, it could also still go. I think there's an example of that on the pound or on the franc. Oh damn, we have to get ready soon. I need to go and eat. I'm really hungry. Okay, so there's no more trades. So as soon as there's no more trades, we'll just do the euro. We'll do the euro and franc. It shouldn't take long. Playable range, look at this playable range is the same. But we only care about, like, they're just examples. We only care about when there's actually a trade. So look at this is brilliant. So look at this playable range and look at this playable range. So this is like your last playable range, and it's like even bigger. You know, it's even more candles, it's even like largely expanded. This is beautiful. Absolutely pristine trade. Probably gonna like clip that or something. Now, look at this. This is brilliant. So, like, your last playable range would be this. Now, look at this. You're right above, and that is not a valid trade, playable range-wise. So, you know, and you I'll kind of need to, like, solidify. Yeah, I've actually learned that you actually can, like, solidify, like, discretionary-based rules. And I mean, like, your last playable range was like this, and then this, and like, look at this. It's just proportionally not valid, you know. So, I don't know. It'll probably just take a couple of couple of good back testing sessions, and after this, they are in again tomorrow, with my part-time work, and then we're off from the Sunday and Monday, so that's good. Anyway, look at this. So this is your playable range, and this is your last playable range as of here. This wouldn't be valid. But like anyway, it's like not valid criteria anyway, but it's close, right? But look, so like you got this, and then you got this. It's just not proportionally valid. You only want to get involved when it's like extremely valid. So like, look at this. This would be valid. So you got this, and then you got this. Like kind of price coverage wise, mainly this would be valid. Like just relative to the range of this and the range of this, it's fine. It's not like, for example, this and then this, and you get involved like up here, like nah. Oh, I'm excited for lunch. I'm fucking starving. So now we'll go over the dreaded pound, to be honest, and then we'll call it that. I don't really like the pound. It's not actually that good with this, to be honest. But I think it can definitely mitigate and boost the pound up a little bit. So actually, now that I look at this, technically speaking, this would be valid, which is shit. But it is okay, I guess, because you know, your risk to rewards there. And you know, if you go into one to fours, you know, and you're risking 1.5%, you're up like what, something like 6%, and then take away that, you're still up a decent amount. So technically speaking, this is actually fine, which is a bit shit, but yeah, whatever. I think we'll also go over the euro. I got time, but geez, the time's getting on, right? Right, so look at this playable range, and look at this. This is sadly valid. This is your last playable range. This is valid. So that's actually okay, to be honest. This, it's not even valid anyway, so I don't know why I've got that marked. It doesn't have a nice wick. And also, it's probably not valid range-wise, so that's just not a valid trade in full stop. This, it's not valid, but like this is your past playable range. This is this one would be valid. There was actually a canny few trades, I think, on this, but like we'll go over the euro, and then I have to go and eat, and I'm still gonna have some time to do some stuff, but not very much. Right, so look at this is mint. Right, look at this playable range, and look at this, just not valid. And also, well, actually this is actually valid, like everything wise, apart from like the appropriate playable range, right? Like appropriate proportionate playable range, let's call it, because you want to call it by something you're going to remember, right? So that you miss a loss there, definitely, 100%. Like look, so you got like this play, wow, you can't, like, yeah, this, then this. Like no, you're right above, and at the extreme, it's just not valid. So hopefully we've got like a couple more trades. I think on euro you don't have that much, so we can definitely go over it. Yeah, nice. Okay. I don't know when I'll upload these, but I don't know. I think I'll get them uploaded today. Actually, otherwise I probably won't get them uploaded. But these are very good videos, so I would get them uploaded, to be honest. Okay, so this is interesting. So this is your past playable range, and this is this one. Price coverage wise, it basically is the same. I would probably I would probably take a stab at that, actually, I have to say, because price coverage wise, it is relatively the same. I don't know if this was a loss. I'd probably still say, like, you have to still say the same thing though. Like, you have to, that's what I do, like, because like I want to be, like, I don't want to be some educator or whatever, right? Anyway, look at this. Do you have playable range? Yes, this is your playable range. Appropriate playable range as of here. Yeah, you kind of got this, but like you're in this, it's fine. Nice one. I don't think I've done anything else. I don't think I went over the, well, actually, did I go over the rough? I can't even remember. Right, look at this. This is actually sick. Now look at this. This is your past playable range, and this is this one. Completely valid. Nice bar close. 2, but you would want to give it a bit of room, to be honest there. So just a bit below, exactly like that, to be honest. I don't think there's any more trades in here. Wait. Whoa, oh no, that's just a past. Just thinking, what the hell's that? Sell markup. If we've got Russell marked up, we'll go over that. Yeah, we'll do. Because it's in order. I need to do silver. I was about to call it sorry. And then I also need to do I've cleared my charts actually on the darks. Because I was looking at something that Scott Taylor it was showing, and I just thought, fuck me, that's... Yeah. Yeah. It might work for him, but it didn't work for me, let's just say. And you know, I'm like an open-minded guy, right? So that's why I was even entertaining it. Right, here's your past playable range. Here's this one, completely valid. Yeah, you definitely would want to have maybe even a bit more room on that trade, to be honest. Let's keep going. This past playable range is this one. You actually get a nice win here. It's fine. So you're also comparing like playable range. You're just comparing the situation at hand, like relative to what the appropriate playable range is, right? So like here and here, kind of quantity wise, this would probably be valid at the setup. This probably wouldn't be. You're right at the lows. You got no playable range there. Nothing. I wonder if the Russell set up around here. No, it didn't. Unless I don't have these marked up. I would assume I would have, because I wouldn't have had it there. For CL, we can just quickly go over this. Jesus, we're going over them all. Because it doesn't really take that long. It takes a couple of minutes when you've got all the charts marked up, right? So look at this. Past playable range. Well, you're in a playable range here. So this is your past playable range. And then look at this one. It is beautiful. Shit, that was a nice trade. I think there's one more trade. You've got 2 trades on oil this year. I think there actually might be another one, and it was well, appropriate playable range wise, proportionate wise, it was invalid. This is your past playable range. Is this one? That would be fine, but it doesn't push above. Well, open above. Anyway, that wraps up this. So you would have definitely missed out on a couple of losses, no wins. You would have missed out on none. So you would have only avoided losses, and it's also a plain obvious thing to do, to be honest. You don't want to get involved when there's no playable range. Like, so here, if you had a valid setup, right, and it's just like, it's universal, right? So here, if you had a valid setup, right, first of all, this is your playable range, right? Now look at this. Like, it's just not valid, right? And you can only really compare it when it's semi-valid circumstances, meaning like you got your emails stacked, right? Because like here, you know what I mean. So like you can only compare, like, so here you can compare playable ranges when you email semi-valid circumstances. Like even here, you know, your emails on stack, but look at your playable ranges. So you got like this. You kind of got this, that would kind of be valid kind of quantity wise, and then you got this as your playable range, and then you got this, and then you got this, that's not valid, and then you got this, right, and so on. That actually could be a trade up here. Shit, I swear I looked. Nah. And then here, that's like a playable range, and then like here classify like here to some degree, but like I said, sometimes too, you kind of got playable ranges inside playable ranges, right? So yeah, it's definitely something to definitely look into further, for sure. So yeah, that wraps up. I think as well, what we're going to quickly do is, because I know that there was a trade valid on gold recently. Oh god. have to eat, man. Sometimes I'm leaving at past. Like, you know what? I might clear my chart. Oh my god, yeah. Okay. We're not going to be trading anything related to whatever's on there ever, so may as well. Okay, where was it? So it's not there. It's not there. I think it was this. We got a 22. Yeah, and I don't even think it was valid actually. For my circumstances anyway. 22, I think this was it, to be honest. Yeah, it was, because it was on the Thursday, I remember. And you open low and then you close up close. But like, look, it's not a proportionate wick rejection, right? The V2 clarified criteria is where you've got like your onside wick rejection is like proportionately nicer than the opposing side, which you don't want, right? Playable range wise, it's completely valid. This is your past playable range. Also, you kind of also obtain somewhat of a context from like the past playable ranges, and you kind of see what's kind of going on. You got nice playable ranges here. Even like here, if there was a setup, that would be fine, right? Look at your playable ranges. They're really like stacked together. I'm like moving my two thumb and index finger together. They're like pinched together, compact. Sounds like a Russian word, compact. But yeah. Here we go.